Today's webinar is all about sets. So before we get into the application, you all see my screen. I know you do. What exactly is a set of drawings? Well, imagine I could go over there and get my rolled up set of drawings, right? And in Bluebeam, you want an easier way to be able to manipulate and go through that set of drawings. But more importantly, I've had customer after customer say, can Bluebeam keep up with the revisions? So I can get a rolled up set of drawings, but how can I go through and manage that set of drawings and then do revisions? I'm going to show it all to you. I'm going to show you two different ways, and I'm going to show you my preferred way. So without further ado, let's get right into it. First, again, thank you all for watching. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Bluebeam Review over here, and I'm opening up a sample set of drawings. Now, the sample set of drawings over here is a combined set of drawings, which typically you might get over here from a contractor, an architect, right? And the whole idea in this tutorial really is how to manage a complete set of drawings. Now, as you can see, I have over here 62 individual pages. If I go over here to the thumbnails, people might say, Rick, I don't need to manage this. All I need to do is go over here to my thumbnails and view my sheets. Well, if you're working on a project like this, or maybe an airport, right, or something huge, a stadium, you might have hundreds of sheets, different disciplines. And this is a very clunky way to basically go through and manage the files. Well, some people might say, Rick, I don't need sets. I'll just go to bookmarks. Well, let's take a look. If I go over here and show bookmarks, right, where's my bookmarks? Bookmarks right up at the top. This gives me a list. Now, the bookmarks might work, might not work. It all depends how this is generated from the authoring software. This works okay, but you'll notice it's kind of like a big laundry list, right? It's not categorized. Well, here is where sets comes into play. Built into Bluebeam Review, you can manage your project and organize it like a set. So it'll organize all the architecture sheets, the plumbing sheets, civil, you name it. So it's easy to navigate. On top of that, when you start to slip sheet in new files, you want to be able to see what's new and what's old. So I'm going to show you how to manage a set of drawings like a pro. To do that, I'm going to go over here and click on Show Sets. So Sets gives us ability to go through, and I'm going to show you how I did this, manage this project so it automatically organizes everything by category, right? Now, this was already done, but let me show you how this was created. I'm going to go ahead and click on New Set. Now, when you're doing this for the very first time, it's going to give you this document pop up and say, hey, this is going to allow you to see a collection of drawings. Now, this, again, is one single file, multiple page, but I'm going to show you ultimately how to go through a better way and have them be single pages, and the reason why. You'll see why in just a second. Over here, when I click OK, I'm going to select Add and add my open files. Easy peasy. And over here, before I hit OK, I'm going to go to Options. Why? Because I want to go through, I don't want to use the out-of-the-box solution of how it's going to show me these drawings, particularly this very first one right here. It's going to default to file name and page label. Well, I don't need the name of the file. I just need the page label. So here, change it to page label only. Don't change anything else. Hit OK. Hit OK. Give it a second. And again, hit OK. And just like that, it's organized all my drawings. This entire set of drawings, normally called a set, which really isn't a set, it's just a collection of sheets, is now automatically organized. And I can go through and minimize my structure. I can go to architecture. Over here, I can click on A11 and start to work on this. So this is fabulous. But here's where this kind of falls apart. Because this is a large file, a lot of times when you start to work on a really large set of drawings, the problem is that the PDF becomes very heavy. Bluebeam Review doesn't like heavy PDF files. I mean, it really doesn't. It doesn't work well, even with these new fancy schmancy computers. The best thing to do is have individual single pages. And here's the reason why. If you say, Rick, I don't care about the page I don't care about the weight of the PDF file. I don't care if it's 500 megs. I'll just deal with it. Well, if you're using a mobile device, you're looking through the drawings, it might be a problem. The other thing is you might have an older computer. Either way, I want to introduce you to why a single file, multiple page document is not the way to go, in my opinion. Over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and do batch. Actually, I'm going to bring in updated drawings. So the whole idea is that I have these new revised files that I got from an engineer. I want to be able to go through and have my current set of drawings at any point in time. All I need to do is add files to the set. What this is going to do is, again, allow me to have the latest, greatest in one single location. I hit OK, and over here I'm going to select my revision 1 and select all of these files. So what just happened in a split second, in case you were missing it, it went ahead and paired everything, and it knows what drawings go with what sheet. In other words, what's my revised sheet. What it's going to do, it's going to place it in front of the old sheet and give me the new sheet on top. When I hit OK, it's going to go through and make sure to connect all my sheets and match them up. And then here's the thing. Most people don't read. Take a look at this with me. When you hit OK, it's going to copy those markups from the old drawing to the revised drawing. So my markups are going to float up to the top to my revised drawings. I will automatically have an old sheet, and it'll be superseded. It'll have a big stamp on it that says superseded, but all the markups go up here. So when I get an updated drawing set from my engineers, I can always get the latest, greatest drawings, but keep my markups, and they'll just float up to the top. And that's what this is going to do. I'll go ahead and hit OK, and watch what happens. This is live. So over here, what it's doing is it's going through and bringing up those drawings. I'll go ahead and hit OK. And now it's a subtle thing. Inside of my sets panel, you'll notice some of these do not have arrows and some of them do. This one, for example, indicates that this is a newer drawing. My newest drawing is always on top. So I click on it, and this is going to take me to that drawing. There we go, is taking me to that drawing. My graphics card needs to be updated. Anyway, when I take a look at the old sheet, all I have to do is click here, and you'll see a strike through. It's easy to go through and see what is my old drawing versus my new drawing. Now, it's supposed to actually, because I've been messing around with this drawing, this is supposed to have a big X on it. So I think my data set might be messed up. Wah, wah, wah. But typically, this would have a big red X on it and say superseded. One of the things that I like to do instead is, instead of using a single file, multiple page document, is instead I'll export out all the individual sheets. What that looks like is like this. So all of these are the individual pages. And you might be wondering, well, how do I do that? If I go back into review, opened up my combined set, okay, to export these out, all I have to do is go to my thumbnails. You ready? Do Control A. This is going to select all the thumbnails. Right click, and then export, extract pages. When you click extract pages, don't hit OK just yet, but what you want to do is extract them as separate files and use the page label to name the files. If you've labeled all of these, each one of these PDFs, this one is going to be called L1.3 landscape ... .pdf. This one's going to be S111 something .pdf. So we'll have individual pages. The reason why this is going to be easier is the project will be lighter, easier to navigate. And then once we have to send, let's say, changes to someone to confirm, right? We have the old one and the revised one. All we have to do is send a single page, and it'll have both those pages instead of sending the whole document, which is much more difficult to transmit via email. When I hit OK, it's going to go through and ask me where I want those set to. And what I'll end up with and I put a folder over here called all the single sheets. As I see before, each one of these were individual pages. So the whole idea over here is if I go over here to one of these drawings, let's just double click on it and open it, you'll notice that it is just a single page. Ultimately, when I start to do the slip sheeting or update the set, I'll have the information over here and I'll have another page, which will be the original, and then the new one on top. So it'll just be a single file. Sets panel dialog box will be able to go through and manage those drawings no matter where they're located. So this really, really works well, especially when managing a large set of drawings. So what I'm going to do is click on Sets, go over here and click New Set. Over here, again, this is going to act as the ability to collect all these individual drawings no matter where they're at, and they'll behave as if they were a single file, multiple page document, but it's easy to navigate and easy to take control of and make sure that you get the latest, greatest drawings. I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. Over here is where I'm going to bring in those drawings. I'm going to click Add, and I'm going to go ahead and add either the folder and all its contents or single files. Let's go over here and I'm going to go to the folder because I already have them in a folder called all the single sheets. And I'm just going to select that folder, right? It brings them in. Loading this information is even easier. Over here, I'm going to go ahead and go to Options. Remember the thing that I set up at the beginning? I'm going to click Show Page Label Only and hit OK. By the way, let me kind of let you in on a secret. You're probably wondering, how does Bluebeam know how to organize the A sheets and P sheets and E sheets, etc.? Well, here's what it's doing. Under the Categories tab, Bluebeam automatically goes through and categorizes all of the categories according to the first letter of the page label. The page label over here is called A, which means it's going to fall under architectural. Anything with the I will be under interiors. You can customize this and add anything you want. So for example, some of the interiors use ID. In this case, all I have to do is click inside here, double click and say ID and just save, right? And then any file name, in this case, any title block will have ID. It'll put it under the interiors. Okay, I'm going to leave it back to I. This is really nice. In addition to that, we can change the order in which it shows up in the sets. Remember, when you're looking at a set of drawings, in this case, on your very first cover sheet, right? You probably have general, then civil, landscaping, architecture, MEP, right? You can change the order in which they appear on the left-hand side by taking one of these, for example, and moving it up or down to match your cover sheet. I'm going to leave it as is, and we'll see what appears on the left-hand side. All right, here I'm simply going to hit OK. You see how fast it was? It automatically went through and found all my information, which, by the way, if for whatever reason this ends up not bringing in the correct information because it's bringing in the sheet number, it automatically scans that information and brings it in. If something doesn't look right, so for example, this one right here, for whatever reason, this is the first time I'm doing this, the revision is 0, but for whatever reason, it read 1. All I have to do is click inside this, and this behaves like an Excel spreadsheet. Here at the very top, I can override the metadata that's actually scanned in, and I'll type in 0. What's nice about this is that this information is automatically scanning the title block. When it does that, it fills in the information here under sheet name and sheet number. If for whatever reason it doesn't bring it in properly, click inside of one of these cells and override it by typing inside here. Now, I got to tell you, for the most part, it does a fabulous job. Okay, but I like to take a quick look to make sure that everything matches. I'll go ahead and hit OK. And just like that, it brings it in. I'll go ahead and hit it OK one more time. And now I have everything organized. Here's my general page: civil, landscape, structure, architecture. If I wanted to change the order, so for example, I want structure to come after architectural. I want architectural to show up right after landscape. All I have to do is click on Modify Set, hit OK, go back into Options, go to my categories. I know it was a lot of clicks, but you can replay this slower. I want the architectural in front of the structural. So I'm going to put architectural right here and move it up. So it's landscape, then architectural. Might as well put demolition if there is. Okay. And then I can have M, move that up, then E, and bring down P, right? So it's M, E, P. Right now it's in a different order. I'll go ahead and hit OK, hit OK. One more time. OK. I'll hit OK. And all of a sudden over here now, I mean, it just changed it. I have my landscaping and architectural drawings. To manage and work on these drawings now, all I have to do is just click on it and open it up. If I take a look at this drawing here and as a thumbnail, it's just an individual page, which means I can work on it much easier. It loads much faster. It's just all around much, much better. Let me go back over here to sets. The sets dialog box right now needs to be saved. So I'm going to go over here and save the set. This is the set definition for this particular set of drawings. It's a good idea to save that information on the network or on your computer, wherever these drawings are located. That way, if someone just double clicks on this BEX file, it'll automatically load the complete set of drawings and give them the latest, greatest drawings. So they don't have to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and hit Save Set. Over here, I'm going to give it a name. I'm going to call this DD Submittal. Okay. And I'll put it over here, hit Save. If anyone else just double clicks on it, they'll have now the latest, greatest drawings. So how does someone start to work on these? Well, let's say I'm working on this drawing. Over here, I'm going to go through and add a comment. I'm going to go simply over here and do K for Cloud Plus. And I'm going to add this one, and I'm going to call this GRAITEC Comments. I'll go ahead and give it a fill color. I like blue. I'm going to have it be highlighted. And I'm going to say, this is a new comment, right? We'll see that information show up over here in the markups list. When I click on it over here is my comment. Oops, you know what? It didn't save it. Let me go over here and change it. GRAITEC Comments. All right. Boom. So here's my comment, GRAITEC comment. I'll go ahead and hit save. So I'm working on the drawing like I would normally. To prove what's going to happen next is, let's say I receive a new set of drawings, right? Revised set of drawings. What's going to happen is I'm going to add those to the set. Now, the way to slip sheet this in is I need to add files to the set. Now, I know some of you on the call over here probably already contacted me and said, hey, my batch slip sheet isn't working. Well, batch slip sheet is not the way to work with sets. The reason being is if you go to batch slip sheet, this is if you have drawings that are outside of a set definition. If I have a set definition, this BEX file, I need to update the definition file, the BEX. So that's why you need to add the drawings to the set panel. To do that, I'm going to click the plus sign. And this, in essence, is going to give us the slip sheeting. I'm going to click the plus sign, click OK, and now point to my revision 1 drawings and select them all. I'll hit open. Just like that, it brings them in, and if I scroll all the way down, here are my revised drawings. So I can see that this is revision 1. This will automatically place that in. The next time I put those in, it'll be revision 2, etc., etc. I'm simply going to hit OK. What it's going to do now, it matched automatically those drawings from left to right. And remember, it's going to copy those markups, and the old one should be stamped superseded. I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. I'll give it a second and wait for it to finish. This is something that works tremendously well, but like you saw in the past, when I was just working on that drawing, something went quirky and my drawings didn't show superseded. Now, if I click on this drawing, this is perfect. The current drawing that I'm in is this one, revision 1. I'm going to go ahead and close everything, right? Let's say, save. So here is my sets panel. This is always going to be the latest, greatest drawings. All I have to do is simply click right here, and it opens up the latest drawing. Here is my comment that was bubbled up to the top. This is Rev 1. All of these comments also came in. If I click over here and click on the previous one, it says superseded. It's easy to be able to go through now and make sure that you have the latest, greatest drawings. In the sheets over here, all of these are my latest drawings, and here are my old ones. It's very easy to make sure that I don't have, that I'm not working on an older drawing. If I take a look at that drawing that we were just looking at here, if we go behind the scenes and look at the individual page, there it is. What's nice about this is the old or the revised drawing is still in its folder. What happens here is the sets panel dialog box basically points to the different locations. So it organizes everything. So you might be wondering, well, this is great. How do I go through and make a new federated set of drawings if I want to send those to someone? Here in the sets panel, let me go ahead and save the set so it updates the set definition. I can send this out to someone. Typically what I will do is I can create a combined set of drawings. Now, I know I just said you don't want to do that, but if for whatever reason you want to have a new set of drawings, you can combine all of these and it'll take them all and put them back into a single file, into one single PDF. You can also create a package, a PDF package. What this does, I'm going to go ahead and click OK. This is going to create like an Excel type spreadsheet that you can deliver to someone, and it'll go through and show you thumbnails of all of the files. But what's unique about this, okay, is if you send this package1.pdf file along with the drawings, this right here acts as a shortcut with hyperlinks. So over here to open up this drawing, all I have to do is click and it should open up that file. There it is. I just double clicked on it and it automatically takes me to that drawing. It's hyperlinked. This is an excellent way to manage your drawings. I know we covered a lot and in a very short period of time. I will tell you some of the troubleshooting that I'll experience. You just saw if the drawings, since I had gone through this exercise prior a couple times, I had opened up the drawings and saved and closed them, the metadata behind them to show what's original versus revised is captured inside of the PDF. If for whatever reason you have what I had when I tried to do the combined file, reprint those PDF files and that should clear it up. The easiest way to do that, I'm going to close that, is to go over here to File, Create from File, pick the drawing, and then hit Open. Even though it's a PDF, it'll recreate it and basically get rid of the PDF metadata because that's what was confusing Bluebeam, that it was reversed. So that's really what I wanted to show you all. So sets is an easy way to basically go through again and manage a whole set of drawings. So let's do a quick recap. Typically when you get a complete set of drawings, right, you might get them as a combined file. This is 21 megs, not too bad. But again, it's hard to navigate through and see what is the latest drawing. You can use sets to basically organize this. But the problem is when you do that, now you have double the amount of sheets. Anytime you get a revised sheet, it's going to bring in those other ones. And if you need to email it, it's difficult at best, right? If you go through and create them as single sheets, over here, all the single sheets are now easier to manage. what's nice is that these, instead of being 20 megs, are only a couple kilobytes. So that's much, much easier to open up those files. In addition to that, when you're working in an environment where you're in an office, if you have single file with 60 pages, if you open up that file, no one else can. So in this case, Misty, if I was working with you in the office and we're both working on this set of drawings and you wanted to look at the E sheets and I'm on the A sheets, you wouldn't be able to because they're locked. Using the set panel, then you can go through, she can open up the E sheets and I can open up the A sheets at the same time. And all she has to do is open up that set panel to take a look at the sets. It's really awesome. And again, easy to use. It's fun for the whole family. Questions?
Hey, we got a couple in. Rebecca asked, are there any limitations adding individual sheets that are assigned to a set?
Is there any limitations to adding sheets that are already assigned to another set? I don't believe so. I haven't had that question come up before. That's a really good one. Because really what the sets panel does, it points to other drawings. So the drawing itself doesn't know that it's part of this set or this set. The set's BEX file just says, hey, go to this file and locate it over here in this folder and bring it into this set of drawings. So yeah, actually, I don't see any issue with that whatsoever. Logically.
Okay, Rebecca said not assigned to another set, sheets that have a signature.
Oh, sheets that have a signature. Shouldn't be a problem. Shouldn't be a problem whatsoever. If you do come with any issues, just feel free to email us at support@asti.com. Let's put it in the chat over here, support@asti.com. Please provide your information, a sample of the file, as much information so we can contact you, and please say, hey, it's a Bluebeam issue. That's our general inbox for support. And if you are our customer, we'll be happy to provide you technical support on Bluebeam or Autodesk products.
All right. So Nick said, can the revision number take letters instead of numbers?
I haven't tried that, but it should be able to do that. Yeah.
All right.
Remember to answer Nick's question real quick. Remember that panel that came in when I opened up that log file and I was able to change it from 0 to 1 or 1 to 0. Over there, I can highlight them all. And I should be able to call them 1A or 1B. Are your revisions labeled ABC, Nick? Or what's the formatting?
We'll wait for Nick's response there.
That's a good question. That's a great one.
Nick said, I have a plan set where structural had numbers and architectural had letters.
Oh, of course they have to be different. They should be. They should be able to.
Okay. The next question, does this still work with callout view link?
Yes. So when you create callouts, those are linked to different files. The links still work. So it's just pointing to, the links work. And that's an excellent question. So you want to go through, create those hyperlinks in the drawings. The hyperlinks will be maintained.
All right. Let's see. Kevin says, what happens if a consultant has changed their sheet name or number between doing revisions? Can you individually map an old sheet to a new one if it fails to map automatically?
Yes, absolutely. So what happens is in that panel that came up that showed automatically that it matched everything, you'll have a second tab that says unmatched. And all you have to do is, kind of like the telephone game of, it's old-fashioned kind of thing. You click on one file and say, this one actually is this. And so you highlight the file name and match it to the one that's been renamed. But yeah, that's something that can easily be done.
And then Allison said, can sets be uploaded to a Bluebeam session or sessions?
Oh, that is one of the biggest questions. No, not to a session. So for those of you who are unfamiliar, let me just kind of talk to you about studio projects and sessions. So projects gives you the ability to go through and upload drawings, including drawing sets. So as an example, I have a project, just like I did before. Instead of located on my C drive, it's now located on the studio project. Projects are like SharePoint where you can upload any type of file type. The caveat is it's one person checks out a file and puts it back. In order for sets to work on a project, you have to upload the BEX file and the files themselves, including the original drawings and the revised drawings, need to live online. Because this BEX file, when I go through and check it out and open it, and it's important that you check it out if you're making changes to these files. So when I go through and slip sheet in these drawings over here, I'll do the same thing and I'll click add files to set, but there's a catch. If you click here, it's automatically just going to go to your C drive. So there's a setting that you need to change for it to point to your studio location, because if not, you can't get to it. About review, underneath about, you'll go to preferences, and over here you'll go to studio and clear this button. So what this does is this will enable you to now point when you open up a drawing by default to the studio first if the studio is open. I'm going to go ahead and hit OK and watch what happens now. If I go over here and add files to Slipsheet or update, I click here. Did you just see? It is now going online and it's going to my same project. This one right here that ends in 748 and 748. Now I can point to my revisions, select them all, and select open. When I do that, it's going to automatically update the BEX file. I'll hit OK. This to the previous question, if there's something unmatched, you would click here to here, theoretically. In this case, everything's matched. But if there's something that's unmatched to that previous question, they'll show up in a separate tab, and you can literally click from here to here, let's say, if those were the ones. I'll go ahead and hit OK. And what this is doing is it's updating that BEX file. Couple things. One, the BEX file needs to be checked out to me if I'm going through and updating the BEX file. If it's not checked out, those changes won't be saved. And the next person who opens up this BEX won't see those latest changes. I'll check in the files. And bring it in. But to her question originally, Sessions does not utilize sets. Sessions is a collaborative environment that allows multiple people to work on multiple pages. In that case, Sessions has to have individual PDFs, which begs the reason why you would want to have single sheets. And those single sheets will be uploaded to the session. You'll notice over here, for example, here are some drawings that are superseded, and here are my revised drawings. You know what? I've been working with this too many times, so they're all going to say superseded. This is what happens when you reuse the files. So over here, my sets dialog box is going to say superseded because I opened it up the second time around. But typically this does work. Lesson here is work with clean drawings. I'm doing a webinar. But this BEX file over here needs to be updated online. Long answer, but I hope that answered your question. Sessions is a great way to work collaboratively on drawings. And the best thing about those is if you put drawings into a live session, you can invite individuals and collectively they can work on that drawing and work on it. There's no checking in or checking out. For me, Sessions is awesome. Plus, by the way, if you have an iPhone, or iPad, Sessions is phenomenal, and you can use it on the go using Bluebeam Cloud, which is included in your subscription. If you have any questions afterwards, again, feel free to reach out to us at support@asti.com. I'd be happy to help. And by the way, we also do training for offices and companies on everything Bluebeam.
We do, and there's a poll question on that. So if you're interested in Bluebeam training and services, you can just click that yes, and that'll let us know. Also wanted to let you guys know, in addition to support@asti.com, we have a new inbox for webinars. So if you think of any questions after the fact, we've got a team that goes directly to those. It's webinars@GRAITEC.com. Either one of those will work. We will still reach out to you and get you your answers. I also put on the screen to see, as we wait to see if we've got any more questions, if you're interested in a free trial of Bluebeam, you can click right there on the screen. I think it's 14 days. And we'd love to let you test drive Bluebeam and see how amazing it could be for you and your companies.
Yeah. Again, it's fully functional. What's really nice, it's fully functional. You're not getting one of the lower versions of Bluebeam Review. It's fully functional for those 15 days. And take a look at it. I think you'll like it.
Fantastic. All right. Yes, this question is always asked, and I love it. I love this question. You will get a recording within 24 hours after the webinar. If you don't, hit us up at webinars@graitec.com. We will make sure we take care of you, but you will receive a recording so you can go watch back all those superhero moves that Rick did, especially in the beginning.
I know, right? Yeah, you were going to say reward, weren't you? You were going to say you're going to get a reward. You get a reward and you get a reward. Your reward is Bluebeam. So I got to tell you, if you're on the fence, try it out. I find Bluebeam to be the tool of choice for architects, engineers, contractors. I use it every day for everything, not even just architectural projects. I use it for presentations. So many times I might find something as a PDF only. And in Bluebeam, I don't know if you knew this, but over here we can go through and export out information that's been brought in and revert it back to Microsoft Word. So if you get a document, you're like, oh, I wish I could bring that into Word, or I have to retype it. Don't do that. Over here, bring it in and export it back out as Word or Excel or PowerPoint even. I mean, this is awesome.